Welcome to the Caviar Club and to our online series of inspirational people and inspirational stories. Today we have the pleasure of interviewing a very enthusiastic entrepreneur originally from Nepal, however now living in Turku, Finland. Welcome Barun Bashyal, nice to have you here today.
Thank you, hi.
Hi. First of all, we actually met you in our last event in the Caviar Club. It was really good to meet you there.
Thank you.
And in terms of those people who didn't meet you in our event, it would be great if you could tell us a little bit more about you and your journey so far as an entrepreneur and what projects you are working on at the moment.
Yes, thank you very much, and thank you for giving me this opportunity actually to speak. Looking back to my entrepreneurship, at the beginning, it actually started when I was 11, 12 years old, and it was there was a reason for that, because my mother was working hard for us to educate us in a better school, and we were planning to study in a. She was planning us to take us in an English medium school because in Nepal we have the government schools are not working well, or were not working well that time. So she had to work hard, and she planned a cafe business, and I was being elder child of her. I had to work in her cafe, be interactive with the customer, and so on. So I had that privilege to actually see the business and the activities from the very close end, and when I was already 12 years old. So then I had my own business, restaurant business. After I was here, like 3 years after, I started a restaurant business, which eventually didn't work well. So I collapsed after 14 months because of various reasons. I made some fundamental business mistakes. so it was a very good learning point and a very good experience for me. And then after that I moved on to the digital space because I love the whole internet, the idea, the internet thing, and everything related to the internet. So I moved into the internet side. So I learned to be in the right, I try to be on the right place at right time, try to find the right people, and always try to meet smarter people than me, because they always help you to move forward. Yeah. And right now I have a couple of projects in the internet, in the digital field. So for example, one being the peacedare.com, where we are trying to build a platform where we want to connect people based on their interest. And we are also looking at different, I'm also working with different application-based, the internet application-based projects. So they are not into yet into formally moving as a startup, but we have a team and working on it. So yeah, there are lots of projects going on, and yeah.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant, and that's a great journey, and in a little nutshell there. But I think you must be a real entrepreneur in your heart, because as you said earlier, you had a restaurant business and it failed. You said that word yourself, but it's sometimes hard to admit failure and come out of it and then continue doing something else. So that's really great, and that's what entrepreneurship is all about.
Yes.
Don't worry about so many failures. There will be successes. There's always the next opportunity coming. So that's very inspiring to all of us to hear.
Yeah.
No, that's perfect that you actually took those challenges as positive, and you took strength from them, and now you're in a much better place, it seems. There's a lot of exciting ventures that you're working on, so that's perfect. And then in terms of you obviously living in Turku, Finland, and you're a non-Finnish speaker, so we are all itching to know if you feel that that's ever been in any kind of challenge or problem or issue, or is indeed Turku and Finland a hub for innovation and a hub for startups like the startups that you're working on at the moment?
Right. Yeah, really good question, and I actually get these questions quite a lot from my friends also, because they're always saying that, hey, you don't speak so good Finnish and so on, so how do you manage to do this whole thing, and especially with the restaurant business, for example. I don't think the language is really a problem here. You can go anywhere else in the world, the problems are always there, the challenges are always there when you are actually in a new place. So I didn't see this as a problem at all. Like, actually I got even more help. Like, I used to go to different offices and so on. People used to talk in English with me. People were even eager to translate this. So this is actually open for everyone, open for those people who are driven to do something, to make positive changes and actually to inspire people. So there is no problem as such.
That's such a good thing to hear. We are international city in Turku, aren't we? So that's really perfect.
Yes.
So if we talk about inspiration and perhaps someone who's really impacted your career choice, you talked about obviously being with your family and being kind of entrepreneurial already from the age of, was it 2 years old or something really, really early?
12 years old.
Oh, sorry, I'm
12,
the one.
yeah.
12 years old. But very young age, nevertheless. So would you say your family, or is there anyone else that really impacted?
My mother is especially is the major influence, the inspiration for me my whole life, because she was such a fighter. She was a brave woman. So she always, said to us that you need to work hard, you need to be different, you need to be challenging if you want to achieve something big. So because we came from a very humble background, like really underprivileged background. So if we were not able to like see things or be ambitious enough, I wouldn't be actually in Finland, for example, today. There are lots of my friends who were in my situation, on our level, still living in Finland, living in Nepal, getting a very, the normal education, carrying out the normal career. So it's my mother who actually gave me sort of a view, like gave me a vision to actually think big and see big, and always look for the future. So obviously my mother, she is the biggest entrepreneur inspiration for me. Yes.
Oh, that's amazing. I'm sure she's very, very proud of you. And then in terms of, I mean, you're kind of starting entrepreneur now that you're venturing to the digital world and starting up new projects in there. Would you have any advice to other entrepreneurs that are starting up or who wants to start up something of their own? Obviously here in the Caviar Club we have experienced entrepreneurs who follow us online and who come to the events, but there are many who want to start something of their own. Would you have any guidance or tips to share with them?
I would say that if you have a great idea on, for example, that you want to implement in internet or in the digital world, you have to speak with people. You have to share your idea to everyone you can. I mean, even if they don't want to hear, it's your fault. You have to make them hear your idea. You have to pitch in such a way that always make them driven. Always say them that, hey, I want to be part of this idea. This is such a great idea. I need this kind of service. So you have to speak with with everyone possible that you can meet and have a possibility to chat. So you have to share your ideas a lot, because while sharing ideas, you get also new ideas, because people see it as an experience. You have to find your audience, and you have to share your ideas, and then after that you need to find a team who can actually develop your idea with you, who can believe in your idea, the most driven ones.
Yes. No, I think that's perfect, and I guess that's quite closely related to market research. So use your friends and family and anyone in your school group or university or wherever, like Boost Turku, maybe as your market studies arena, if you like.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. So if we talk about more guidance and tips from you, but is actually there any book or website that you use to get ideas from, or to develop your ideas further, or kind of do your market research or something like that you could share with us as well?
Right. Some of the blogs that I follow is, for example, the Guy Kawasaki blog, and I also follow some writings from Richard Branson. He has a lot of articles in LinkedIn as well, so I follow him in LinkedIn. So I get a lot of these inspirational articles from him. Get to read those, and then I also actually follow some of the websites like entrepreneur.com and VentureBeat, for example. So they are also quite good sites to follow up.
No.
On the book side, I haven't been able to read so much these days, the books, because I've been so busy. But the blogs, I read a lot of internet articles and blogs, especially from these gentlemen. They are wonderful.
No, that's amazing, and it is true. It's amazing how much information you can find online, and you can get it for
Yeah,
free. It doesn't cost you
exactly,
anything. So
exactly.
no, that's really good advice. And I guess, like you said earlier, if you have a feeling that this is something amazing, you
Yeah,
usually have to trust your gut feeling because it's be
exactly.
the right one. And then you go to
Yeah,
your friends and your family and to your university mates and ask them for their opinions and so forth. So that's the kind of start of the journey, isn't it?
exactly. Yes, yes.
Oh, perfect. Well, it's been really, really good to speak to you today, Barun, and
Thank
I
you.
really feel the enthusiasm through the camera all the way here. So I'm sure you will do really, really well, and I'm sure
Thank you.
we will all hear from you and your projects in the future. And
Thank
I'm
you.
sure we'll see you in our next event as well.
Amazing people, smart people to meet with. So yes, definitely I'm going to be there. And one last advice that I would like to give to whoever seeing this is that you need to learn how to enjoy the small wins, because they are the ones that will take you forward. So for example, if you have a big ambition ahead, you want to make $1 billion company, for example, you have to enjoy winning 1 million first. Yeah.
Definitely. I love that. That's a very good ending for this interview. And all the best in the future for you, Barun. And
Same to you too. Thank you very
thank
much.
you. And we'll see you in Turku.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye bye.